I cannot tell you how much I hate the wind. After what seemed like hours and hours of trying to force myself to get some sleep, I finally dozed off. I could feel myself drifting down into a place where my brain doesn't think about everything and nothing all at once. I was just starting to feel at ease when, BAM! I heard a noise outside on the deck of the fire tower. I was going to let it pass and get back to my struggle with sleeping, but it came again, only this time it was followed by the door of the cabin flying open. Snow shot through the doorway like smoke escaping a chimney. By the time I made it to the door, the floor was covered by the white stuff all the way to the opposite wall of the room. I bundled up and stuck my head out the door. Looking to my right, there was nothing. All I could see were the treetops fluttering in the wind. To my left, there were two thick tree branches lying on the ice-covered deck. The trees beyond the deck were doing a little more than fluttering on that side of the tower. They were practically bending to their limits. I heard a crack and watched as a smaller tree branch hit the railing of the deck before falling to the ground. I was relieved that it was nothing more than the wind shaking dying limbs from the trees. But I was also furious that it was nothing more than the wind shaking dying limbs from the trees. I could have been sleeping. Walking back to my bedroom corner, I noticed something on the floor that I hadn't seen before. I'm not saying that it wasn't there before. I'm saying I didn't notice it. It could have been there all along. It had to have been there all along. It must have been there all along. Far from the pile of body parts was a hand with about 3 inches of jagged bones extending past the blotchy, leathery skin of the wrist. I stared at it for several seconds, feeling the blood rushing through my body. My mouth went dry. I was just being silly. It was there before. There had just been too much going on for me to take notice of it. Plus, there was so little light in the room. I could have walked past a whole other person and not notice. I was just letting being alone in this totally creepy world get to me. I found an old broom near the row of lockers and pushed the hand over to the pile of body parts. I did my best not to look at it. I was afraid if I did, I'd ruin any chances of getting sleep in the near future. The hand jammed against the other bits and pieces of people. I ran to my sleeping corner and quickly sat down, pulling my legs in tight and resting my forehead on my knees. I was hoping if I wrapped myself up tight enough, I'd eventually disappear. What I wouldn't give to just disappear.